CONCACAF World Cup qualifying has entered the last match day. ISB show Sahil Rahi. It was a ridiculously crazy match day. And I can guarantee you that whoever you picked at the beginning for each of these groups, you got it wrong. Because my goodness, did we have some crazy last-minute drama. This had everything. If you stay tuned for this video, we're going to cover all the matches that happened today, all the groups, as we have done from the beginning. Let's kick it off, Rahi, with Group B. And we thought the Jamaica Reggae Boyz were going to get through. It did not happen. And Curaçao becomes the smallest team ever to make the World Cup.
Wow. Look, we'll talk about the Reggae Boyz in a second because I'm heartbroken about them not being there, them having to go to the playoff. But Curaçao, the smallest nation to ever qualify for the World Cup. They did this, by the way, without their coach. Dick Advocaat went back to the Netherlands for personal reasons. They're doing this in Kingston, in Jamaica, on the road, trying to survive and get a draw against one of the big nations. This is an incredible story for a team that nobody saw coming. Man, we've been watching CONCACAF for years. You and I had no idea that this would be the team to qualify from this group. It's honestly incredible. What a story. On a day with story after story across the regions, my goodness, this is the best one. This is why we love this sport, Sam.
Yeah, so in coming to this match, it's almost seemed like going to the office. It's a tough place for anyone to play. The U.S. has struggled there. Everyone has struggled there. So we just thought, okay, the Reggae Boyz are just going to get it done. And then you saw this match as time went on and on, things started becoming more and more intense. And then let's talk about that crazy situation at the end where it seemed like Jamaica was going to have the penalty that was needed to get to the World Cup, and then VAR overturned it.
Yeah, the VAR these days, man, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. I know my Jamaican friends were cheering for what was a miracle in the last minute. Probably in looking at VAR and the replay, it's probably the right call in the end to overturn the penalty. It's a tough night for Jamaicans. It's a tough night hitting the post 3 times, then getting the penalty overturned. But if you would ask Jamaican fans from the beginning, you could qualify for the World Cup and all you have to do is beat Curaçao at home. I mean, who wouldn't take that, Sam?
Yeah, that's the situation. And, Jamaica can, I know they hit the woodwork a few times in this match, right?
Times.
So, yeah. So in this match, right, Jamaica, it seemed like, yes, at the end, the urgency was there. But it's just a campaign where you look at every single moment they had an opportunity away in Curaçao, which was a real problem, that match. That was the real match where things didn't happen. They didn't play particularly well in the 2 matches against Trinidad either. And so it's a situation where, yes, they had all the opportunity to get qualified for the World Cup. They had the group that everyone was saying, oh, this is the most straightforward group. Turns out we're all wrong about that.
Yeah, we were wrong because we didn't see Curaçao coming, but also we expected more from Jamaica, and that's true, right? This is a talented team, and they just never looked that good throughout qualifiers, and it's mistake after mistake. Yes, not winning this game is a travesty. But losing to Curaçao away is a travesty. Tying Trinidad, right? That's a travesty. These are all slip-ups that eventually add up to the point where then you're relying on a last-minute penalty, hoping the ball doesn't hit the post. And even if we're being honest, yes, they hit the post. They had chances in this game. But it was a bit disjointed, right? It was oftentimes playing the long ball rather than playing it around the midfield. They never really had collective possession. It was a very scrappy game, and they did create chances. There's also the chance in the first half, right, that Bobby Cordova-Reid has.
Yeah.
And Andre Blake, as always, fantastic, really saving Jamaica at times.
Yeah.
But this is just not good enough from a team that's so talented. And they will have one more opportunity in March. It looks like they'll have to play either Bolivia or New Caledonia, and then maybe you get DR Congo or Iraq. We'll find out. It's doable, right? Jamaica's a talented enough team to beat any of those opponents. But what we've seen so far is not enough. And what we've seen from Steve McLaren isn't enough.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the main question that comes moving forward is McLaren going to be the guy to take them into the playoffs? We're going to do a separate video covering the Jamaica team and all that, and I'll get back to them in a second when we go to the playoffs. But real quickly, finishing off on Curaçao, And to be honest, everyone out there is going to have to learn. Everyone knows Dick Advocaat, the manager, famous manager, obviously, famous for the Netherlands, and everyone knows him. But it's time to start learning the players on this team, because they are going to the World Cup as the smallest nation ever to qualify, step over Iceland in terms of population. This is the smallest nation now.
In a World Cup, we'll have Capo Verde. We will now have Curaçao. Incredible. Here's the quiz. The next time we film, we better know all the players on the Curaçao. Starting lineup of Curaçao. That'll be the test. We have to learn it. We owe it to this island nation for giving us an incredible moment, and we'll see them in the summer.
See you in the summer, Curaçao. All right, speaking of island nations, we're going to move on to the next group here. And, okay, this group perhaps this group, okay, this is the ending of the Curaçao group. It finished perhaps the way everyone thought it would finish because Panama got there. But, I want to say something that many people may not have realized. Whatever crazy stuff was happening in Guatemala, the most insane thing, Suriname fans, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but that last goal, that was really Geraldo Becker just created it by launching a ball into the box, and then it was an own goal. If that doesn't go in, Suriname, you guys would have been eliminated.
It would have been Honduras instead. It's incredible. Suriname, another team we didn't see coming at the beginning. We saw them coming along the way. It's a disappointing result in Guatemala, but they are still alive, and it's all thanks to a garbage time goal that you thought was meaningless, but in the last minute, Suriname will be at that playoff in March in Mexico. It's an incredible story. Look, I know you would have liked to qualify automatically, at least put in a better performance against Guatemala, but wow, that last goal, every minute counts.
Every goal counts, every minute counts. So Suriname fans, we will cover you guys obviously more extensively. It wasn't a good performance.
No,
I will say before this match, I felt that this was going to be a tough match. Guatemala came off the last match where Panama found a way in Guatemala. And that was really the match where Panama won the qualification on, was the last match, because Guatemala is not an easy place to go play against. And it is very creditable that Panama got that victory. Suriname in this match, they were just outmatched. It was all Guatemala.
All Guatemala. Yeah. But Suriname with the one moment that makes the difference, eliminating Honduras. Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. So Suriname, it was still, I know you'll probably be disappointed that you didn't make it to the World Cup directly, but there's still another opportunity. We're going to talk about that right now. But real quick, Panama, Rahi, they made it. They are through. They were the favorite in this of these teams that were remaining. They were the best team that was there. And it took them a lot of adversity, but they're able to get through to the World Cup.
They did it the hard way. They weren't really that impressive, but in the end, the last two games, they were impressive. And let's give credit to Thomas Christensen. He's the longest tenured manager, I believe, in the region. He's done incredible things with this team, now taking them to another World Cup. Congratulations to Panama. We thought they were the favorites in this group. They made it hard, but they're back, and they're a team that has steadily grown over the years, and a lot of it's down to their manager.
Yeah, and Guatemala, truth be told, if Guatemala had an opportunity to get into the playoffs of the World Cup in this particular match, they would have made it there easily. So in fact, Suriname, I think you guys got what you needed with that goal and everything else. So before moving to the final group, we will talk about Group C. We'll finish with Group C, but before that, I real quick want to talk about what is happening for these Suriname and Jamaica. I showed these two groups, Jamaica. They are heading to this. They are heading to this particular thing, which is, of course, the Confederation playoffs. These are the teams that are going to be there. So, Rahi, do you want to talk a little bit about what situation presents itself for Suriname and Jamaica now for that?
So it's, as usual, with FIFA, it's complicated. But we do know this. We do know that DR Congo and Iraq will be seeded. Which means that Jamaica and Suriname will both have to play a semifinal and then play either Iraq or DR Congo, which means Jamaica and Suriname cannot play each other. So Jamaica and Suriname are going to play Bolivia and New Caledonia. One is getting lucky, winning the lottery, getting New Caledonia in that first game. The other one will play Bolivia, which is a tricky game. Not a South American stalwart, but still a decent side. So we'll see what happens. We'll know quite soon. And then they will face either DR Congo or Iraq, both tricky teams. It's not an easy pathway, but if you're a Reggae Boyz fan, you got to look at that and say, we have to find a way because there's enough talent on Jamaica to beat Iraq, to beat DR Congo, certainly to beat Bolivia, to beat New Caledonia. So we shall see. And for Suriname, nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. And if you can win the first game potentially, and then you get into a chance against all these sides are beatable, right? It's very even. Iraq is the highest ranked of those sides, but it's open. And all these teams will take that chance, right?
Yeah, exactly. These are the teams again that's showing. So again, we're going to cover this extensively between now until then. We're going to cover all the teams that are there. So for you Reggae Boyz fans and you Suriname fans, we're going to talk about the opponents. We're going to talk about your teams, and we'll cover all that between now and the Inter-Confederation playoff. Now, we want to finish with one group that was left out. Going back to the graphic I had here. And I want to finish this video with this group because my goodness, this is insane how this group finished. Haiti. We talked about, could this be the year? But what an incredible story for the Haiti national football team. Doesn't even get an opportunity to play their matches at home. And now you're heading to the World Cup instead of two of the biggest stalwarts in CONCACAF, Costa Rica and Honduras.
This is incredible because we talked about Capo Verde has qualified. Curaçao has qualified. We talked about Scotland getting in a dramatic last minute. But there is perhaps no biggest surprise. There is no better story. I can't even speak properly because it's really emotional. For a Haitian team that has been through so much, this country has been through so much, for this team to qualify for the World Cup, and as you said it, over stalwarts of the region, Costa Rica, Honduras, these are teams, if you looked at that group, you would say Costa Rica, Honduras, maybe Haiti then.
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, the best story in world football. It's an incredible moment. The adversity that this team has had to deal with, the joy that this will bring to this nation, this is more than anything else why we love this sport, why it continues to deliver moments that you cannot dream of.
Yeah.
You couldn't have dreamed this up. Even if you're Asian, maybe you did, but I don't know what you were drinking or what you were eating because I don't know how you could have dreamt it up. I had no idea. You had no idea, Sa, but it's an incredible, incredible story. I think the best in the world.
Yeah, we talked about before, we're like, could Haiti do it? Because we recognize the talent on this team, right? We definitely recognize the talent on this team. And the way that Placide is playing, we said this team could get it done, but we didn't, to be frank, we didn't actually, fully think that the dream that we were thinking could happen, and now it has. After 50 years, Haiti will be back at a World Cup. That is incredible. So we got to end the video on that note. Of course, they got the job done 2-0 against Nicaragua. I don't even want to spend too much time talking about Costa Rica and Honduras, but we'll make one quick statement that, everyone on this channel, whether it's Rahi, whether it's me, whether it's Roy, we've all talked about the fact that these teams are not what they used to be. And again, playing a 0-0 draw out when it mattered most, it's just not good enough.
It's a perfect conclusion to two teams that gave us very little in qualifying and frankly played a very boring game to end things up. And isn't it wonderful that Haiti's in instead?
That's all. I mean, it was just a match filled with the red cards at the end and everything. But that's a story that Haiti, congratulations. That's how we're going to end this video. Congratulations. You are back in the World Cup. Let's hear you in the comments. For all you Haitian fans, for all you fans of Curaçao, it's been a fascinating CONCACAF qualifiers for Panama. The expectation was that you get there. But now, the World Cup journey, those teams are in. There are two teams that still have a World Cup journey. Don't forget about this. Jamaica Reggae Boyz fans and Suriname fans. This is the start of your journey to the World Cup. We're going to cover all that. Rahi, a final thought, and then we're finishing up here.
What a day. What a day. What a moment for Curaçao. What a moment for Haiti. And for the Reggae Boyz and for Suriname, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. And we shall be back.
We shall see you soon. Keep watching the beautiful game. Keep watching CONCACAF football. And keep watching the beautiful game.